It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline: MN GTF kills 22, arrests 17 Boko Haram in Lake Chad. The news in full. By Ibrahim Hassan Wuyo, determined to end insurgency, the multinational joint task force MNJTF said its combatants have killed 22 Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorist elements in the vicinity of Malam Factory town towards the fringes of Lake Chad. In a statement on Thursday by MNJTF's Chief of Military Public Information, Colonel Mohammed Dole, the operation, which was part of the design to swiftly end the menace of insurgency in the Lake Chad region, was carried out alongside troops from Sector 3, Monguno, Nigeria, and Sector 4, Difa, Niger. Colonel Dole said that the troops met strong resistance from the terrorists who launched several mortar attacks, laid improvised explosive devices (IEDs) along the troops' routes of advance, and further attacked with vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices. And he, however, said that the troops brought superior firepower to bear on the insurgents, forcing them to abandon their enclaves, adding that Operation Sharan Faj was massively supported by the air component of the Operation Adinkai and other partners with air assets and surveillance equipment. This support spurred determined troops to successfully clear enemies' hideouts in and around Arege, Gashiga, Asaga, Kainua, Bana, and Kamaguma, among other general areas. In the course of this operation, 22 Boko Haram terrorists were neutralized, 5 of their gun trucks destroyed, 5 motorcycles and several logistic bunkers were destroyed, while 8 AK-47 rifles were recovered. Regrettably, 6 members of the JTF, 2 officers and 4 other ranks from both countries paid the supreme price in the line of duty, with which about 16 wounded in action. 17 suspects were arrested in the general area of operations and are being profiled. The recently concluded operation, which was heavily supported by Operation Adekai Nigeria, targeted Boko Haram ISWAP criminals terrorists hibernating in the vicinity of Malam Factory town towards the fringes of Lake Chad. In line with its mandate of support for facilitating willing internally displaced persons and refugees to return voluntarily and safely to their ancestral home, the multinational joint task force provided security for the continuous security enhancement work in this area and will do so until the inhabitants return. The operation also created a favorable atmosphere under which festivities marked the 63rd anniversary of the proclamation of the Republic of Niger was peacefully conducted on 18th December 2021 in Difa, and His Excellency President Muhammad Bazoum in attendance. It should be noted that this was the first such celebration in many years. On Wednesday, December 29, 2021, the Force Commander of the Multinational Joint Task Force, Major General Abdul Khalifa Ibrahim, on a debriefing mission, visited the MNJTF headquarters in Difa, Niger Republic, where he addressed the officers and men after receiving an after-action brief by the operational commanders. He commended the uncommon display of gallantry, professionalism, and courage by the troops who have taken the fight to the criminal hideouts in their areas. He said, after listening to the brief, that a lot still needs to be done, but this was a good starting point and a promise to mobilize more equipment and other operational enablers to the sectors. He declared the year 2022 as a year of decision for the MNJTF as he vowed to uproot the criminals from their hideouts in the lake. He paid tribute to the fallen heroes, whom he described as martyrs of freedom. He appealed to the people of Lake Chad Basin to continue to support the MNJTF to bring forward information. He further assured them of the MNJTF resolve to clear the operational area and make it safe for all in the coming year in compliance with the directive of the Service Chief of the Lake Chad Basin countries. He was accompanied on the visit by the Deputy Force Commander, MNJTF, General Abdul Asumani, Niger, and other key commanders of the MNJTF. On the sideline of this visit, the FC, alongside other MNJTF senior officers decorated some rotating office staff of the MNJTF Sector 4 with the MNJTF Medal of Service. He thanked them for their meritorious service, he stated, and appreciated them that they were able to do a whole lot of things to ensure that those bandit terrorists, that is the ISWAP and the Boko Haram, were neutralized as at when due.
Being arrested by operatives of the EFCC Lagos Zonal Command, he said he just arrived at the George Hotel for dinner. I was never arrested by the EFCC. I was invited and I flew down to Lagos to see them. I arrived in their office at 2 p.m. and left at 8:30 p.m. I was granted bail on self-recognition. They were very polite and professional. Thanks be to God, the message also read. His tweet was accompanied by his pictures, which he indicated were taken at George Hotel. When contacted for comment, EFCC spokesperson Wilson Wajere said, "I don't have the details you are asking for. It had happened in Lagos." The commission had earlier on Tuesday confirmed to this newspaper the arrest of Femi Fani-Kayode in Lagos over alleged forgery and fraud. Sources familiar with the matter informed this newspaper that Mr. Fani-Kayode was being investigated for forgery of his medical reports to evade his ongoing trial for alleged fraud. The EFCC is prosecuting Mr. Fani-Kayode and two others on 17 counts of conspiracy, money laundering and fraud to the tune of about 4.9 billion naira. And the Federal High Court in Lagos had awarded a fine of 200,000 naira against the former minister for his absence from court with respect to the alleged 4.9 billion naira fraud. The judge, known to be Daniel Osaigo, who gave the order on October 13th, asked the minister to pay the fine or stand the risk of having his bail revoked for failing to appear for his rearrangement, and the matter was adjourned till November 30, 2021 for the rearrangement of the defendants. Mr. Fani-Kayode, who recently defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressive Congress (APC), is also standing trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja over diversion of funds he allegedly took fraudulently from the office of the National Security Advisor ahead of the 2015 presidential election. The defendant served as the spokesperson for the 2015 PDP presidential campaigns, for the re-election of the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who lost to the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari. And yet, till the EFCC, finally unraveled this mystery, it is still assumed that, the former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, is yet, still not guilty. But for the fact that he actually, did not go to the court as at when due, still brings about some sketchy, possibility that he was actually involved in such. Thanks.